This week, coming up from the ashes.
The nice nod and respect to the past Scooby-Doo shows and stories and things.
Respect?
So,
You want to talk respect?
oh,
Alright,
Jesus.
Really?
Just
Wow,
because it
this
was
just-
one statue, relax, calm down.
Respect?
Wow.
They didn't
This is
respect Scrappy-Doo. They
is about to spiral
trashed
out
him.
of control.
I'm sorry, Phoenix. We don't talk.
No, we talk about it. I let you go on your
Batman.
tirade during the Batman episode. This is my turn.
The date is Monday, March 4th. I am your host. Hey, come on, stop laughing. I am your host, Arson is Cloud. Welcome to From the Ashes. Alright, and with me are my three cohorts.
Hi.
Introduce yourselves.
I am the Phoenix.
Go on, go on.
I am just a flabbergasted Amanda, but we'll go on from that.
I wasn't expecting Arson to start it, and I'm crying. I'm Flerp.
And welcome again to From the Ashes. Yes, I am your humble host for today. And we will be talking about the greatest show ever made, Scoobert Doobert, and its many iterations.
Oh, so yeah.
But yes, we've all picked a show. Yes, we've all done this before. We all picked a show, and we are going to talk about it and quickly discuss it before moving on, and then wrapping it up so I can go back to sleep. Anyways, who would like to go first?
Valid. I guess I'll go first.
Very well.
So, of all of our Scooby-Doo shows that we have as options, my favorite, I would have to say, is probably Mystery Incorporated. And I say this because I like the animation style. I love the theme song. It's a banger. It's a good one.
Not as good as What's New Scooby-Doo, but
valid.
What's the Scooby-Doo? Sorry.
That's very valid. I mean, there's some good theme songs in the Scooby-Doo verse, but I do enjoy this one. I like the storyline. Like every episode you could watch standalone, but it also all connects into this like very intricate storyline for the show. And all the nods to the past are like really nice. Like in the beginning with the museum, like seeing all the like past monsters and things, like the nice nod and respect to the past Scooby-Doo shows and stories and things.
Respect?
So,
You want to talk respect?
oh,
Alright,
Jesus.
Really?
Just
Wow,
because it
this
was
just-
one statue, relax, calm down.
Respect?
Wow.
They didn't
This is
respect Scrappy-Doo.
This
They
is about to
trashed
spiral out
him.
of control.
I'm sorry, Phoenix. We don't talk.
No, we talk about it. I let you go on your
Batman.
tirade during the Batman episode. This is my turn.
Wait, okay, so you let me go on my tirade with Batman, and you let Zombie go on his tirade with Skull and Bones, and now you want to go? No, that's too many in a row.
No, listen. Okay, I love this show, and I was just looking at the poster for it, and it's hilarious because at the bottom it says heavy metal, and I don't mean METEL, I mean MEDDLE, which is hilarious. I've never seen that
Oh my
poster
gosh.
before. However, I say that to say this. They dissed my boy Scrappy. Not as bad as the movie, but they dissed him, and I was so pissed. Okay?
I mean, they're just following the storyline. They're just following the universe. I'm just saying.
Look, they can eat a
Be
bag
mad,
of wee-wees.
be mad at the first people that did that.
Oh, I am. And they can
Okay.
eat a bag of wee-wees as well.
All right.
So,
Well,
okay, so
that's all I'm saying to that.
I'm just saying that ticked me off. That's the only thing about this show that really ticked me off. Well, I love the fact that like good old Norville and and Velma got together during this show. You know, I thought that was really cool.
It wasn't even for that long. It was.
No, I know, but still, they were together. Okay, just
At
saying.
the end of the
They didn't
day,
even make
at the
it
end of the
past the first
day,
season.
cheeks were beat. Let's move.
All right. So
Jimmy
other than that,
Christmas.
you may go. I just got what you said, Flerp. It just like clicked, like ding. All right. So
No.
that being said, Amanda, I'm off my soapbox. You may go back to what you
Oh.
were talking about.
No, I think that was probably all the comments I had to say about that. So,
So in other words, that's
Oh.
all you got to say about that.
yeah.
We apologize if anyone is a little triggered that we didn't go deeper into this. We did, but surprise, surprise, things didn't quite work out. So we're skimming.
Hey, don't tell our secrets, Arson. Come on now.
Oh no,
I have to, and I very much can because I am the host, and what I say goes.
He is
Well,
not.
Arson
you know-
hostile takeover. Okay. Got
But
it.
yes, whatever.
He's a
we
little
could
power hungry.
move on. Mr. Ink is a great show. Go
Well,
watch it.
do you have anything to
Yeah.
say about it though, Arson? Like add on your end?
From the goated villains, the monster designs, Professor Pericles, and the
Yes.
abnormal monstrous entity that they fought at the end. Didn't they
Professor
also fight
Pericles.
robot Nazis?
They did, didn't they?
They
Oh, I
did.
don't remember.
They fought
Yeah.
robot Nazis at the end.
I forgot about. Well, I mean, it goes back to Professor Pericles. I mean, spoiler alerts. Do you know whose parrot he was?
No.
let's not go into that.
I'm
So-
still just thinking about the fact that Shaggy's zoinked in her jinkies.
In 2
I
minutes.
can't.
How long did it take you to think about that?
I've been thinking about it the whole time. I've just been waiting for you fucks to shut up.
Oh, holy cow, that was amazing.
Well,
Okay.
I
since
can't.
since Flerp is on this absolute streak, I guess he can go next since he's on fire.
Oh, you want me to go? Yeah.
Oh, that's typically how it went last time. So sure.
What do you mean last time?
Oh, well, you got to remember, if you ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake, baby. But anyway,
No, it's fine. We'll switch it up then. Phoenix, you go.
Wow, no, it's too late. You already said
but I
first.
already wasn't first, so I'm already last.
All right, fine, go.
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
fine.
This
You know
is
what?
What a
chaos.
fucking shit show.
We're just gonna talk about it. We're just gonna talk about it. You guys are gonna calm down. I'm gonna talk. Floor's mine.
Okay.
Fuck out. All right. So we're gonna talk about a lesser known yet big part of my childhood. Longest reigning Scooby-Doo show in the world. Just saying.
I
4
thought you were
seasons.
gonna say satellite porn.
But it's gonna be a little ditty called Pup Named Scooby-Doo.
Love. 10 out of
So
10.
it's kind of like the little starty poo of Mystery Inc. Back before they were Mystery Inc. They were just little ball grabbers, just good old times, just running around flicking boogers at each other. But so basically, what this show was, it was kind of just like it was them as kids, just kind of meeting the characters, and it was kind of just like everybody was kind of a parody of everybody, which made everything great. Fred was dog shit. He was no better of a leader than he is nowadays.
He was
If anything, he may have been a better leader back then. But it didn't matter what the evidence pointed to. It was always Red Herring's fault, and
Yes.
there,
Oh my gosh,
they
poor
just
Red
kind
Herring.
of it just kind of seemed like every character in the show was just kind of like a standalone character of the character that they were playing. And it was, you could tell that they were just meant to be the immature versions of themselves, and they really hadn't figured out how to do what they do later on in the series. Well, in the Scoob-verse, as we shall call it. But yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of nice. It was a good change of pace. It followed the same formula that, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And everything like that followed. So it was, you could really kind of jump into it whenever you wanted. Anybody want to talk some shit yet, or are we just
No.
letting me ramble?
It was
I
really
liked
good.
that one too.
Yeah.
I like that one too. That it was cute. It was adorable. Also love the theme song on this one. And it was just silly and goofy. Like it was just too funny and too cute.
I like
It was-
their
yeah.
searching music and stuff like Scooby-Doo, Doo,
Right?
Scooby-Doo. You know,
Was
stuff
this
like
the-
that.
Was this the one where they had the treehouse?
Yes.
There was one where they had like a treehouse.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure they
that's
had
what
a
I thought.
treehouse. Also, Flerp may say this is the longest running one, which 4 years it is. However, it only had 27 episodes. So,
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
27 episodes of fucking excellence.
oh, I agree. So I will say this: what I think I like about this show the most is, like you said, it's like the innocence. Like, you know, you're in their town of Coolsville, you know, and like you talk about how they're younger and stuff like this, and but Shaggy and Scooby are the same. Like,
yeah, they're the exact same.
I don't think that shows you as they age, they just stayed mentally the same.
Yeah, they stayed mentally the same, but at the time, I think it was because their characters were already so like wacky and outlandish that they couldn't really they couldn't take away that feel from the show. So I feel like they just kind of had to.
And yes, Fred was a dick. He was a blithering idiot. Not so much, you know, like in the like Where Are You series, but he was kind of an a-hole. Red Herring was just a gem, and you know, I think it was because he had red hair that he blamed him. He blamed the ginger. Sorry, I'm not gonna get back on this.
Oh no! Oh,
So-
the
Oh
salt.
my God.
anyways,
The salt is strong.
Red herring, play on words, funny.
yeah, ha ha ha. So one of my favorite characters is Velma in this series.
Didn't she have like a scuttle? She scuttle walked.
She scuttle walked, she barely talked, and she had the biggest glasses ever.
Did you just sing a Lone Star song?
There's a carrot top, the
I'm pretty
carrot
sure you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, what do you know?
This is why you this is why you complete me, Flerp.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's what you were going for,
I
but
was not at all. She could scuttle walk, and she barely talked with the big old eyeglasses. Sorry. Again, this is still not the musical episode, so let's move on. But anyways, yeah. So I did love the show. It was great. It's in my, if we were doing a top 5, which is definitely not a top 5, but if we were, this would be in my top 5. So
For sure.
you know, I love this show. It was when I was a kid, and it just, you know, it's very nostalgic to me. Not as nostalgic as my favorite, but yeah. So I don't know.
Well, what's funny is like this show was before my time, but I remember watching it all the time growing up. Now, part of that problem too is my grandmother is obsessed with Scooby-Doo, so that was a whole different set of problems.
I love your grandma already.
Don't. That's probably the only good quality of her. But we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, we're not Dr. Phil. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah. No, valid. But I remember watching this one all the time growing up, and this one, and then of course, the Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Watching those two growing up, I do remember watching those a lot. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I also want to point out that the show did start and end before I was born.
Same.
Yeah, same.
It ended 4 months before.
You're a liar.
It started.
Liar.
It started almost 11 years, like, to the day. Like, okay, so it started on September 10th. I was born September 15th, but it started almost 11 years, almost to the day that I was born. So I was 11. I was 10 years old when this started. Turned 11 5 days later. So yeah, fun fact.
Fun.
All right. Is Is that all that needs to be said then?
I believe that might be all that needs to be said. Unless you would like to throw something in, Arson.
Yes.
I mean, not really. It's a solid show. What can I really say about it? There's
You know
nothing I
what?
can
You're
really
damn right
add.
it is.
There's
You're
nothing I
damn
can
right it
add that or that you guys haven't already said. So
More solid than Fred looking at Daphne. Let's move on.
Giggity giggity. Giggity goo.
are you sure it's not as solid as Fred looking at a trap book?
Oh, that's he does. Okay, in the movies, in the later movies, he does get literally involved with his trap books, like he does.
I remember a certain scene from Mystery Incorporated where Daphne found a
Oh,
magazine slipped into the couch, and she lifted it up, and Fred tried to stop her. He even dove over the couch to stop her from seeing it, and it was like a chick in a bikini with like traps next to her. Traps Illustrated, Freddy.
I forgot about that. Holy crap!
That is so funny.
That's the thing about Mystery Incorporated. It was so
They
well
landed their
done.
jokes so well.
They really did. I mean, they had times where they like made fun, and but they did it so well. It was such a good show. And again, that would probably be up there, pretty high on my list, if I had one. But
And speaking of high on your list, what have you chosen for your show, Phoenix?
well,
We're in new territory now.
let me just state before I go, that I will say this. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe this is the last series. Mystery Incorporated was the last series that Casey Kasem was a part of. Because
I have no idea.
in this series, I believe he played Shaggy's dad. I believe. I need to fact check that.
In which?
Mystery Incorporated. But I believe he played Shaggy's dad. If I'm
Are you
wrong,
really going to fact check this right now?
well, no, I should have fact checked it before, but I don't think I'm wrong. Plus, there was a lot of guest stars in there, like the I can't say her last name, but Linda. She played Velma in the movies. She was actually in 8 episodes of Mystery Incorporated. I know I kind of backtracked from Pup Named Scooby-Doo, but I feel like we didn't give Mystery Inc. a lot of credit where credit is due. Like the name change of the town and all this other stuff. Which
Yes, he
Do you
played
remember
Colton
the
Rock.
name change?
do what?
What's the name of the town, Phoenix?
It changed twice in there. Which one do you want?
The original name.
Crystal Cove.
There you go. At least you remembered.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a solid show, just like Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Just like my pick that I am getting ready to share with you.
There goes the typing. But
Oh, did you hear that?
Show.
okay, while Phoenix is looking for his sources and gathering his papers, let's zoink ourselves into an ad break, shall we?
Like, guess who's got a brand new show? Saturdays on Kids WB.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're gonna follow you. We're gonna solve that mystery. We see you, Scooby-Doo. We're coming after you. What's the Scooby-Doo? I see you, Scooby-Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby-Doo?
It's a brand new do. What's new, Scooby-Doo? All new Saturdays at 8:30, 7:30 Central and Pacific on Kids WB.
All right, we're back from that break. Whatever. I don't know. I don't got a clever fucking rebuttal for this. Welcome back from the ad break.
Fucking welcome back. We're gonna talk about more Scooby-Doo. Let's go.
All right, yeah, there
The
we go.
hell
That's
is
the
that?
end. All right, Phoenix, have you compiled your notes?
I
your
have.
research?
I've gone through all my research and compiled every single instance of what I think is the best in my eyes. And I have come to the realization that the best series in my eyes, because more so nostalgia than anything, is the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So, that is my choice. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which only aired for like 2 years. But it aired for a year, 13 episodes. But it, to me, was one of the best, because it kind of like Mystery Incorporated. It kind of had like a guideline. It just didn't. It had an episodic, way of doing things. In the first episode, they released the 13 ghosts because Shaggy and Scooby got tricked by these two ghosts that literally got them to open up the chest of demons, and since they released them, they have to put them back, which is weird because not only just them put them back, the whole team does. But this is the first show. Well, it's not the first show that drops Fred and Daphne, or Fred and Velma, but it is the first show that they bring in somebody new. Besides, so the team consisted of red shirted. I can't even get blah blah blah.
Red sharded.
Red shirted Shaggy.
Oh my gosh.
No, so red shirt and blue jeans Shaggy first appeared here. Then Scooby, of course, he was the same. And they also had Scrappy-Doo, underrated as all get out, but we already talked about that. They had Velma. Why am I keeping on with Velma? They had Daphne. And last but not least, they introduced a character named Flim Flam, which he was kind of like, I don't know, like a kid. He was there, but he spent a lot of time with them, the whole time. Also, Shaggy just magically, and so did Daphne. They both magically knew how to fly a plane in this series, and they updated the series with a different mystery machine. It was red, so I guess they were just going for that red motif with Shaggy and the mystery machine and all that stuff. But anyways, the coolest thing about this whole show is that Vincent Price was in it. He played Vincent Van Ghoul, and he was the one that helped guide the Scooby Gang to help them in their quest to get all 13 ghosts. Sadly, in the last episode, the 13th episode, they caught the 12th ghost. Because in the first one, they released them all, so they didn't catch anything. But they caught 12 of the 13. And the show ended. I felt like they were going to do a lot more with it, but I can't, confirm that. So, for years, you went by figuring, it gets lost in the shuffle. You don't know anything about, you just forget, about the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo. That they never caught the 13th ghost until they decided to release a movie. And it's kind of funny because in the movie, they talk about, how, because Fred and Velma are in that series, or in that movie. And they have no idea what was going on because they were away at camp or whatever. Fred was probably away at trap camp.
Fucking trap camp, Jesus.
I mean, I'm just saying, he probably was away at trap camp.
And they're not
Oh
building
my gosh.
traps. They're all just getting stoned and listening to heartbeats.
But yeah, so they
Fucking
tied it up quite nicely in that movie. Once they figured everything out, of course, at that point, they retconned some of this stuff to where it was like, no, there's no ghosts that really exist until, they had a couple other things come out. And then in this episode, this movie, they brought it back to where, well, we had a time without you guys. It was when you were away at camp and blah, blah, blah. So the guy that they got to replace Vincent Price's voice in that movie did a really good job. Flim Flam was all grown up in that movie, and it was interesting to see because the Scooby Gang didn't age at all, but Flim Flam did. So there's that.
Yeah.
The miracles of being the main character.
Exactly. As much, okay, not to get dark, But as much as Flim Flam grew, Scooby wouldn't be there. It would be Scooby-Doo 2. You know, I mean,
Damn.
Oh well, no, you don't understand. Scooby isn't just a normal dog. That's
He's
already been
he's a
confirmed in
normal
this
dog.
ring.
He's a normal dog with plot armor.
Well, yeah.
You caught me in the middle of a drink. I almost like spit that out.
That's
Plot
hilarious.
armor is a wonderful thing, that's for sure.
We like to call this phenomenon Ash Ketchum syndrome. It's just, you know,
Ah.
25 years have passed and you haven't aged a day.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, okay, to be fair though, in Pokemon, nobody ages. Like it's like they all, to my knowledge, it's all the same. But to age a character years in a Scooby-Doo movie that refers back to a TV show that they had, to me is nuts. Like, you know, I mean, I understand, like, you know, because Flim Flam couldn't have been more than 8 years old, maybe 10, in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So they had to age them at least 8 years, maybe a little bit more, because it doesn't really say how old he was in the movie. But, you know, so, but anyways, going back to my original, I love 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. It was my favorite. I have a lot that I really love, but I've always gone back to this series and I've watched it numerous times. Maybe it is because it is only 13 episodes and it's quick. It's a fairly quick watch, you know? So you're done with it in a few hours. It's like watching a Marvel movie. So,
Slow down.
but in all honesty, I loved it. You know, it was my favorite. Now go ahead, guys, tear it apart, please.
Well, it was funny because as you've been talking about this, I'm like, I don't think that I've seen this one. And so I've been like trying to figure this out. And now I'm looking at pictures, and as you were talking about it, I was like, you know, I probably saw the movie. Because you started talking about characters and things, and I was like, wait, I feel like I know this. And so I'm like looking at pictures online, and I'm like, I think I've seen the movie, but not the series. So there's that.
Yeah, movie's a lot different. I
Yeah.
mean, they bring.
Yeah, I can tell all of that. Yeah.
Because don't they fly the plane in the movie?
It's been so long.
I'm
I
pretty
couldn't
sure
tell
they
ya.
bring back the plane and like the red mystery machine. Because they were like, oh, things were a lot different back then. So I couldn't tell you 100%, but now I got to go back and watch that movie. But yeah, so you don't remember you don't think you've seen the TV show, just the movie?
I don't think so. I think I've just seen the movie.
So what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Absolutely
Just work
nothing.
here.
You just work here? No, you work here because you're forced to work here.
Oh,
I am going to be honest and let you know that I have never seen the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So,
Wow, you
oh,
got
we're all
homework.
fired. Well, fuck.
Y'all got homework.
Nah, time for homework.
Everything's fine.
Hey, Arson's the host, so I can't fire you, and he's not going to because you know he needs underlings.
What are you talking about?
So you guys have nothing to
Anyway.
say. Nothing.
I don't think so.
What about your 13 ghosts? I mean, I haven't really watched it, so I can't say
Man.
anything now, can I?
I mean,
Yeah.
we're all going to have to watch it and then reconvene in a later episode about whether we thought it was duty or not.
Okay, let me just state by showing you this real quick. Hold on, let me see if I can.
You can't. What are you going to show us? Because the audience isn't going to see.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
audience can't see.
No, I know that, but anyways, I can't. So there's one episode where it's like the second episode, I think, to where they're chasing this shadow looking demon type of thing, and they get up on a stage in front of a group and sing "Me and My Shadow" together. Like it's great. They do all kinds of stuff on there. Flim Flam sings a song about them needing Flim Flam, and blah blah blah. But it's great.
You need me.
Like it's a great series. I mean, it's campy as all get out, just like Scooby-Doo is. I'd say the only one that's not really that campy is Amanda's pick. Because that had a more serious overtone with a lot of comedic drawl to it. You know what I mean? So
Amanda's the only one that picked a logical and very
What?
favorited. It's the only one that basically takes itself serious, is what I'm saying.
yeah, look, that one would be my favorite if it was not for this. I mean, but I'm a sucker for the original. So I really do love Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But it's literally not like I don't think it probably still isn't my favorite even if it's the original. But anyways, so I digress, and that is my choice. That is my favorite Scooby-Doo show of all time. Deal with it. If you don't like it, put something in the comments. If you do like it, please comment and tell me how much
Also
you agree
put
with
something
me.
in the comments.
Yes.
Just
put
comment,
Just put
please.
something in the comments, please. Please. Just put if you want Flerp as your. Never mind. Let's move on.
I was about to spiral real fast.
yeah. So
I can be
anyways,
a lot of things.
All right. Well, if that's all that needs to be said,
that is on my
no
end. Yes.
closing statements.
No closing statements. On to Arson.
Yep, that leads to finally the host's choice. And originally, yes, I was going to go with Mystery Inc. But Amanda chose that. I mean, I could have also gone with it, but that would have been a shorter episode. And then I was like, well, nobody's chosen what's new. And I also really love that one. But then again, everybody would agree with me, and that would make a boring episode. So, I am
no.
here.
Hold on.
I am
Please.
opening the briefcase.
Don't
No.
do-
Don't interrupt me, Phoenix.
Oh.
Don't. I am playing the devil's advocate,
Don't hurt my heart.
and
Don't hurt my heart.
Drive the dagger in. Do it. Do
If
it.
you choose one of those two shows that we don't speak of, I swear.
oh, you
Oh,
could count
let's
this as
go.
revenge
Oh
for
my
Ghostbusters, Phoenix.
Let's fucking go.
Oh my
I am
gosh.
playing devil's advocate, and I am slamming "Be Cool, Scooby-Doo" onto the table as one of my favorite Scooby-Doo shows.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Well, okay, so now I've not seen it, but I'm looking at the animation and I hate everything about the animation
Exactly!
style.
Exactly.
All right,
But
so anyways, let
that
him
is
speak.
that is what is like so deceitful about it. People immediately look at the Family Guy type of art style,
Yeah.
and they immediately close it. I was the same way. I was like, it's shit. And this is especially like it didn't help that this show came right after Mystery Inc. ended.
Mm.
Yeah, they go
after
from
such
good
a
animation
show
to this.
Like after going from that show, perfection, and then to this, a lot of people just like kind of quit. They just kind of stood up and left the room, turned off the TV, and never came back. But I was bored, and I was going through my Scooby-Doo craze. Like I this has been a while back. All right, I haven't fucking. It's been a bit, so I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm completely. I'm just going off of my first run through with the show. I haven't rewatched it or anything. I may have looked back at some monster designs, and the monster designs are obviously not great. At least not as great as the other shows, because they obviously had more detail and all that. This is a very simplistic show. The art style is very simple. um, we don't talk about the intro.
Yo, let's talk
Well,
about
now-
the intro.
Now I need to know what I'm gonna have
Well,
to
the
figure this
intro is really
out.
nothing special. It's just
No.
kind of whatever. But the show itself, it's not that bad. It starts out iffy, sure. A lot of the monsters are just like basically reskins or rehashes of what we've already seen. So there's nothing really special. I mean, I know there are quite a couple of standouts. I think there was the one shark monster that like fucking walked on land. That was pretty cool. There was a chef. I think there was a chef that like had like a gun that like shot food it's corrosive or something. I don't know. There were some wacky designs in there. They were
Mhm.
all right. But I guess we should probably move on to the main stars of the show, and that's our main cast of hooligans, our meddling kids. They're not exactly the same. They're still basically the same, but like they're over exaggerated versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Fred is mostly still the same, but they did give him a little bit of characterization in the sense that he's not as flawless a leader anymore, and he's still kind of coming to terms with that. Um, Velma isn't exactly a know-it-all. She does have her quirks and flaws that are on display sometimes. Shaggy and Scooby are mostly relatively the same, as they always are and should be, because you can't
Mhm.
improve on perfection. But they do very much chew out, like they're more aware is like of everything. Like they're aware that they're basically always the bait. They even they criticize, like I think there was this one episode where like there was a witch who was like I forgot what the plot was, but like there was a witch that traumatized Fred a long time ago when he was a kid, and then he grew up, and then they went trick or treating on that same block for some fucking reason. The
Oh
same
my
witch
god.
comes back, and Fred shits himself, and he runs for his life. The gang quickly catches up for them, but they also run for their life. And you know that in nearly every episode they split up, and then the monster always goes after Shaggy and Scooby. The
Yep.
witch doesn't do that. The witch goes straight for Fred, Daphne, and Velma.
That
And
tracks.
Shaggy and Scooby are absolutely appalled, and like
No,
throw
did
I don't, they throw apples or candy or something. I forgot what it was, but they're like, "Oh, so we're not good enough for you now? Is that
Oh
it?"
my god, that's
Okay, that
good.
is funny. That is funny.
Like again, like the art style and probably some like small clips that you've seen didn't convince you like anybody to watch this show, and I understand that. But after a while, it honestly really didn't bother me, and especially like with the designs, as much as you probably don't like them, I they're kind of memorable. I don't know. I just
I
they're not
ah!
exactly they're not exactly designs you just up and forget.
Truth.
They're just different. Well, I don't agree with the designs. I mean, it's whatever as you go on with the show.
Well, I will
And of
say
course, there's
this.
there. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, no, no. You go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your
Okay, I was gonna go to the
recap.
last character that I haven't talked about yet, who probably got one of the more bigger changes, I suppose, and that's Daphne. She went from like I guess being more cool-headed and all that to like a walking shitpost, basically. She basically became like she always had a bit to play, like whether it was like having a fucking sock puppet or
Oh my
having a
gosh, that's
mustache.
right.
She always had some sort of quirk in every episode or something, but she was basically still the same Daphne. Like
The
she was still very kind and all that. There was like even an episode that I remember where like Fred was like he caught on to the whole like Scooby snack bit where like they basically did anything, and instead of like using like the Scooby snacks to make Shaggy and Scooby do whatever he wanted, like trapping, being bait and all that, he uses it to basically enslave them, kind of.
wow.
Oh god.
And Daphne is like, "Whoa, what are you doing? You're basically bribing our friends to do whatever you want." And he's like, "Well, they're not disagreeing, are they? They're I tell them to do something and they do it and they get a snack."
Oh my god.
Even Velma was like, this might lead to some interesting studies." And Daphne is just absolutely like, I don't know, shocked. But at the end of the episode, it's all fine because it turns out that Scooby and Shaggy were just playing along because this means that they get more Scooby snacks.
That checks right there.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, those suckers! They don't even know that we're doing all this extra stuff that we usually always do, but we get more Scooby snacks out of it."
So let me just say, I have seen the first 3 episodes of this. Okay, I always give every Scooby Doo a shot. And when you brought up the sock puppet thing, like it's funny because in that first episode, So in the first episode, they're taking Velma to because she got some sort of interview at a prestigious college.
Yeah.
What was it called? Anyways, but so they go there and then they end up figuring out, what was it, like the founder of the college's ghost is haunting or something or whatever, and so in between that, the series literally opens up with almost opens up with the sock puppets. And she has all four of the gang up there, and they're like, "How are you even doing that?" Like, I remember that clearly.
Yeah,
But,
it is a show that doesn't take itself seriously at all.
yeah, so I did give it a chance. I watched the first 3 episodes, but I kind of just fell off of it. I do remember in the first episode how they all made decoys of the Scooby Gang, and the one that did Shaggy was like a little buffer, and and the one that did Daphne was just like this huge dude, like a really big guy.
Yeah, the
Um,
gags were over exaggerated a
Yeah.
lot. I really like that about it.
so I'll give it that, but I just did not care for this that much. It's still not the one I can't stand the most, but it's up there.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
I'm glad you
It's
didn't say Shaggy and Scooby Doo get a clue, because if I would have done
no,
that,
oh god, no.
I would have had to throw you out. Like, no, get out. No more hosting for you, sir.
No. All right. But
So-
no, yeah, it is not a show that like you really have to take seriously at all. This is like basically your average normal run of the mill Scooby-Doo. It's not really episodic at all. It is episodic. It doesn't have a plot like Mystery Inc. You don't have to watch from beginning to end. You can really just watch any episode in any order. It's whatever, except one particular two-parter episode that does kind of stick out to me because it has arguably one of my favorite designs, even though it is simplistic. And that is Professor Huh. And he is quite the strange fellow. There is some lore tied to it. Um about it well, it is Fred's dad. He kind of went cuckoo and he just made himself like a whole, I guess, really wonked out aware type of, I guess, monster, even though he really isn't. He's just a guy in a costume, a really sick costume.
yeah.
It's like a giant eyeball, and like he has like this little puppet that he talks through. It's weird.
Another puppet.
I think he's one of the only villains, or I guess spoilers, but he wasn't really a villain. He was actually playing the long game. But he was one of the only, I guess, monsters to actually beat Shaggy and Scooby at their own game.
Huh.
Like when they do the whole gag with the monster and then they leave him like absolutely befuddled with like a wig
Right.
or makeup or whatever. He goes into this barber shop and Shaggy and Scooby do their bit. But Professor Huh completely turns the tables and shaves off their eyebrows. And he's like, he walks out completely scot-free while Shaggy and Scooby are enjoying their tea. But then they realize, and then they run outside, and he's like, Scooby's like, did we just get duped? No!
That's how they ended the series too, isn't it?
Yeah, that is how they ended the series. They ended the series with the two-part Professor Huh special. And that was probably my favorite part of the whole I guess show, was that final part, because they really did start to show their potential there, especially with Professor Huh's design.
Mm-hmm.
But then it ended, and then it was just kind of like, all right. I mean, it was fine. It was a fine ending to the show, I suppose. They kind of left it open ended. It was supposed to get more seasons, but it didn't. Part of me kind of wishes they got a third season to see what they could really cook up, maybe.
Yeah.
But
it got
again,
52
I think it was fine. I think it was perfectly fine the way things ended. So,
Well,
yeah.
it's interesting because, like, if it, when I was watching it, and you made a reference to this earlier, I always felt like there should be cutaways. So like Family Guy, because it looks like they just took like a parody of Scooby-Doo and put them on screen, you know, a parody from Family Guy and put them in here. But you know, but just you talking about it actually gives me a little bit of, I don't know, interest in watching a couple of the episodes, especially the witch one and the last two, just to check them out.
I don't know. The legs pissed me off. I looked at pictures. The legs pissed me off.
Yeah, we tend to ignore that.
Their knees look like they're poking out the sides, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's terrifying.
The little
Well-
twig bitch chicken legs, you don't like those?
No.
I will
And
say,
I don't like the fact that Shaggy doesn't look like a stoner. He looks like he has a meth problem.
well, look at Scooby. I mean, he's not too far off either. But so this is the first series. I don't know if it's the first movie. I can't claim that. But this is the first series where they changed up Velma's voice again, and it's actually like a fairly decent actress. Of course, her name cracks me up. She's a comedian, and her name is Kate Micucci. And she is very good at her Velma voice, which is not far off from her actual voice. And she was in The Big Bang Theory. She was Raj's love interest for a little bit. But yeah, Kate Micucci is in this, and I believe she's still Velma to this day. But
So it all started here then.
it either started here or one of the movies before the series. And let me just say, I am so freaking glad that they never bottled any of the art to the movie. It's good that they kept the movies like with the regular type of style Scooby-Doo, you know, animation for the most
As
part.
they should be.
They should, yes. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because, you know, I like her as Scooby-Doo. Before that, they had what's her face? I can't think of her name. She played in The Facts of Life as Natalie. I can't think of her name though. But she was Velma for the longest time. And then they switched over to Kate Micucci. And so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, you got me thinking about maybe watching a few episodes just to kind of see, and then maybe I'll go back and watch more of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just whenever you have time, you know.
Yeah.
It's really it's just not that serious. It's entertaining. I understand if nobody wants to watch it. It's completely understandable.
Well, 13 goes to
compared to
Scooby-Doo.
Compared to many of the other series, you know, it probably won't hold a candle to it because you watched all the other shows and then you look at this like what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a fine show. It doesn't really deserve all the hate it gets, besides the art style. But the gags are great. The characterization is fine. It's just a fun time all around. Really, nothing else to it. Just a
Well,
tried and true Scooby-Doo.
What's
tell
the
you-
one that we're definitely under no circumstances supposed to talk about or watch?
Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue.
Okay.
And Velma.
Yeah.
we don't
And
talk
Velma
about
too.
Velma. That one doesn't count.
Yeah.
That one doesn't exist.
That's not even on a list of anything of mine. Like, that's an abomination that needs to be like wiped from existence.
Can't believe it got greenlit for a second season.
So why are we talking about this still? But anyways,
I absolutely despise it.
unlike your Be Cool Scooby-Doo, I am going to say you all really need to watch the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Just saying. You know, not when you have time. Just do it right away. As soon as we're done here, go binge watch every one of them, and you know, then come back. So, but anyways, yeah. So I love the show, and I will give that a chance. Those are some really good lists. I
Yep.
mean, not
All
lists,
right.
really
Well,
good top.
excellent choices, people. We did some great work here today.
Yeah, we did the thing.
Yep, we did the thing, and now we can finally end the show and go about our lives. Does that sound great to everybody?
Yeah. But
I
first,
suppose.
why don't you tell the folks at home about that nice link in the description?
I was getting to that,
Oh!
co-host Phoenix. Thanks for joining us here on this lovely episode with our favorite topic, with our favorite dog and gang. You can find out more about all of these guys and everything in the links and all that below. I don't exist apparently. There's nothing about me there. Unless you want to visit Phoenix's OnlyFans, that's also a thing. I may make a slight cameo here and there.
Feet pics,
But
feet
yeah,
pics.
that's it. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you all pretty soon. Episodes every Monday. I'm sure you'll enjoy that very much. And one last thing before we go, anybody?
Raw. I don't know. That's...
Burrito Supreme.